everyone, I am Lovable Hatsune Miku and I am back with another video, and in today's video I will be reviewing a fan-made series from the video game series of Life is Strange, and I'm very excited to review this project because I think this one is very cool. It's such a cool piece of fan-made media for Life is Strange and I just absolutely love it, and I think it's just so freaking great, and it's just something I just feel like I have to talk about and give my thoughts and opinions about it because I think it's just really good. And the thing I'm going to be talking about is the Life is Strange What If fan-made story, or movie you could call it. And it's really freaking amazing, if I'm being honest. I love everything about it. And I really want to tell you guys what happens in it, but if you guys have never played the Life is Strange series, like the first game, don't watch it. At least buy the game first and play it, or watch the gameplay before you watch it if you are interested in watching it after this video. And if you haven't seen the Life is Strange What If before watching my video, stop what you're doing right now and go watch the video first, and then come back to my channel and then watch my video, and then so I don't want to spoil anything for you guys, so go watch the original video first and then come back to my channel. So basically I'm going to be talking about what happens in the video. It's very similar to the video game, but they do change a few things here and there in the story, and actually some things I really like that they changed. I wish they kind of put in the game, but I will get onto that later. So again, major spoilers if you have never played the Life is Strange series, at least the first one. And yeah, I'm basically going to be talking about what happens in this video that they've made from beginning to end, and my thoughts about it, and things I liked about it, and things I didn't like about it. So yeah, so hope you guys enjoy this one, and I hope you guys have seen this before watching this, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So the video begins with Max Caulfield, played by the actress called Shelby Davis. She is basically talking to herself in her room, and she's talking about her friendship with Chloe and how beautiful her friendship with Chloe was, and how the ending to the story is not a very happy one. And she's basically telling what happens in the story, and I actually like that Max is the one narrating in the story, and I thought it was really nice, and I kind of wish they did that in the video game with Max just narrating the story. And it shows like Max and Chloe as them little, and it basically is she's basically telling the viewers like Max and Chloe were best friends, they loved pirates, but then it talks about how Chloe's dad William died, and how Chloe basically changed, and how Max moved away and didn't talk to her for 5 years. All that stuff is basically the same stuff in the video game. And we start off at the school, and it actually shows Chloe getting out of her truck, and she looks pretty badass, not gonna lie. And she's basically walking up to the school, Blackwell Academy, and all the students are looking at her. It shows like a Rachel Amber poster and all that stuff. And Chloe actually confronts Nathan, talking to his friends, and she's like, we gotta talk and all that stuff. And Chloe's basically like, we need to talk, and like meet me in the girls' bathroom. And then Chloe's like kind of embarrassing Nathan in front of his friends and all that stuff. And you know, Nathan's like a wuss and whatever. Well, not like a wuss, but he's like, do we have to do this in front of my friends? And Chloe's like, what, your fake ass friends and all that stuff. It's kind of funny. And then we cut on to Max in the hallway with her leaning up against the wall, and of course she has her headphones on, which I actually like that the headphones are actually coming out of her bag and they're not just slipped underneath her shirt, which I always thought was weird in the video game. So I actually like that they fixed that the headphones are actually in her bag and not going up her shirt. It looked weird in the video game, so I actually like that they fixed that. And yep, it shows Max, and she's basically just walking down the hallway like in the video game, and of course she goes to the bathroom to have a mental, well, not like a mental breakdown, but she just goes to the bathroom because she just has to. And actually Mr. Jefferson is not actually in this film, which I actually really like, but of course I will get onto that later. So Max goes into the bathroom, and she's you know, in the game she's not so confident, and she's looking at the photo that she took for the Everyday Heroes contest, and she's like, stop torturing yourself, you have a gift. And she doesn't rip up the photo, she actually just, you know, she's like, screw it. And she goes into the stall, and instead of actually seeing the real life butterfly like in the game, there's actually a drawing of the butterfly on the stall, which I thought was kind of cool. But then it kind of makes me question, like, who's the one who drew the butterfly, and how does the real life butterfly not connect to Chloe? Because I believe in the video game the butterfly represents Chloe's soul, which I'm not going to get into too much detail about that, but it kind of makes me question, like, how does that play into the film now? Because it's like the butterfly was really like, the butterfly was just so iconic in the first one, and it represented Chloe's soul, but having the butterfly as just a drawing on the bathroom stall kind of takes away from the whole the butterfly being related to Chloe thing, but I'm not going to get into too much detail about it, making it a big deal. It's just something I kind of, you know, like always in the game, Max takes a picture of the butterfly, but then here's Nathan come into the bathroom. He's like freaking out. And then of course we get the iconic scene with Chloe and Nathan, and how Chloe needs money from Nathan, like hush money kind of type of ordeal. And of course, thank God Chloe says business, which I laughed my ass off, which I'm so glad they kept because it's so freaking funny. And of course, Chloe's just pissing Nathan off, and like always, he pulls the gun like in the video game, and he shoots her, and then Max comes out of the stall and reverses time, and then she freaks out. And it's actually kind of cool because in this version, Max, when she first gets her vision of the tornado, she actually isn't passed out like in the forest. She just is randomly walking down the hall, and she just randomly gets it, which is kind of interesting. So I guess it kind of makes sense because Mr. Jefferson isn't in the film, so she doesn't have to like wake up in class. So I love how she just walks down the hallway and she just magically gets the vision and just passes out almost. And but anyways, that's like I can't remember if that's before or after, but anyways, that's how Max gets her vision. She just randomly walks and the vision just happens, and she's like, oh shit, do I have time travel powers? And then trying to remember now, she basically goes back to the bathroom, and like always, she redoes everything she does in the bathroom, like takes the picture, washes her face and all that stuff. And of course, Nathan is about to shoot Chloe, but then Max distracts him by closing a door, like making a loud sound, and then Chloe bum rushes her way out and escapes. And Nathan checks to see if anyone is in the bathroom, and of course he doesn't find Max. And I actually like that instead of Max actually being freaked out, Max is like, yeah, I just saved a girl, I'm awesome. And then she's like, who the heck can I tell? And then she gets a text from Warren about the USB drive and all that stuff, so she's like, oh, I can tell Warren. But before Max can do that and make her way to Warren, she sees Kate being harassed by David Madsen, like in the game. And instead of intervening, they decided to go with the route of Max not intervening and actually taking the picture of Kate being harassed by David. And Kate's not too happy about it. She's like, thanks for nothing, Max, and all that stuff. And then we cut to a scene where they're in Mrs. Grant's class, the science teacher in the game, and it's basically just the bullies, like Victoria and Nathan, being bastards to frickin' Kate and throwing pieces of paper at her, and Warren looks sad, and Max looks pretty sad that they're bullying her. And somehow the freaking teacher doesn't see any of this happening in class, and poor Kate is just so upset that she just leaves class, and the teacher's like, what did you guys do? And I'm like, come on, like, you're a teacher, like, go after her. Like, you don't just continue class when a freaking student just walks out of class upset, which, whatever. So anyways, Max meets Warren in the parking lot, and they talk and all that stuff, and Max is like, I have something to tell you. But before Max can do that, like, Nathan shows up and is confronting her, saying like, I know you were in the bathroom this morning, like you took a picture, and he's getting pissed at her. And then Max is like, take a step back, Nathan. And I'm like, ooh. And then Warren tries to defend her, and then, you know, the whole fight scene. And then I actually like it that Nathan actually really does hurt Max in the scene. Like, he actually throws her on top of the car and is actually strangling her, like actually choking her. I mean, he did do that in the video game, but I just like it better that he actually throws her on the car and all that stuff. And of course, Chloe sees this and she's like, get in, Max, and she doesn't actually try to run over Max like in this scene. And surprisingly, Nathan actually doesn't break Max's camera, which kind of sucks because it kind of makes the whole other camera scene more wholesome, but I'll get onto that later. So anyways, they escape, and Max is narrating how she's so happy to see Chloe, and she's kind of like, almost like, I don't want to say like drooling over Chloe, but she's like almost like memorized by Chloe, and then she kind of just like gets a hold of herself. She's like, anyways, this is Chloe. It's actually kind of funny. I like that scene. Anyways, they go on to Chloe's house, and the iconic room scene where Chloe is sad, and she's like, can you put on some music while I meditate? And Max is looking at Chloe's room, and surprisingly, I think Chloe has a book of, what was it? Romeo and Juliet. I was like, really? And she flips through the pages and sees a bookmark, but the bookmark is actually the picture of Rachel and Chloe, which I actually kind of liked, that it was actually in a book instead of just Max being Snoopy. But yeah, Max was still being Snoopy. And then of course Chloe's like, hey, like, give me that. And then Chloe basically tells Max, like, how Rachel was her angel and all that stuff, and how she's mad at Max for never calling or texting her for 5 years. And she's like, unlike you, Rachel would have told me, like, you know, all that stuff. She's like, Rachel would have told me she was leaving me. And Chloe's just upset. And then Max puts the CD in, and then Chloe's meditating. But then Max gets a text message from, not like a text message, but she gets like 3 missed calls from Kate. And then Max is like, I'm sorry, I gotta take a call. It won't take long. And then Chloe's like, see you in 2018. I kind of laughed at that scene. And then Max is like, I'm not gonna be gone that long. I promise I'll be back. And then she's like, sure. Like, Chloe just doesn't believe her. I'm like, oh, poor Chloe. So anyways, Max is calling Kate, and Kate is basically upset with Max, saying, like, I really wish you were there for me today. Like, I really could have used your help. Like, why didn't you, like, back me up when David was harassing me? And Max is like, I just wanted proof and all that stuff. And then Kate's like, yeah, whatever. And she kind of just goes silent on the phone, and then Max is kind of worried about Kate, and I think Max, like, tries to reassure Kate that everything's going to be fine and that she's going to get more proof, and then she's like, I'll come visit you tomorrow, and then, you know, they hang up. So then Max returns to the room with Chloe, and then Chloe's like, who was that all about? And then Max actually tells Chloe what is actually going on in Kate's life, which I kind of wish they did in the video game, because in the video game, if you answer Kate's call in the video game, Chloe's really pissed at you. But Max actually explains to Chloe why it was so important that she had to call Kate because of the shit she was going through. But they didn't do that in the video game, so I actually like that they made Max tell Chloe, like, what was going on in Kate's life, so Chloe is more sympathetic towards Kate's situation instead of just being like, oh, you want to choose Kate over me? Yeah, okay. I was like, okay, I actually like that Max actually told Chloe what's going on in Kate's life, so Chloe doesn't seem like an ass when she's trying to confront Kate about being a good friend. So I'm like, okay, that's nice that they actually added that. And Chloe feels bad for Kate. So yeah, Max basically tells Chloe the shit that Kate's going through, and then Chloe feels bad. And then Max takes out the photos that she took out this morning, like the Polaroid photos, and then Chloe's like, can I look at them? And then she's going through the photos, and she notices the butterfly photo that Max took, and she's like, wait, you were there this morning? You actually saved my life? Like, damn, you're a ninja. And that was kind of funny. Chloe's like, holy shit, you actually saved my life. So after realizing that Chloe has been saved by Max, Chloe remembers that it was Max's birthday, and she gives her old, like, her dad's camera to Max. Like, she gives William's camera to Max, and you know what, you saved my life. I know it was your birthday. Here, you can take this, and I'll just snag this photo as a symbol of our reunion. And Max is like, sure. And I love this scene so much in the video game and in the short film. The scene where Chloe's like, take my picture, and she's dancing on the bed and having a good time. She's sticking her tongue out and doing, like, the rock and roll symbol with her fingers and all that stuff, and she almost steps on Max's photos. And I just love that scene so much. It's just two friends having a good old time, and they're just blasting the music, and Chloe's just dancing, and I just love the scene so much. Oh yeah, I forgot to say that Chloe Price is played by Mads Hoofnagel. I am so sorry if I said her last name wrong. I'm not good with these other names, but I do apologize if I said her last name wrong, but I think Mads did such a really fantastic job of playing Chloe. Same with Shelby as playing Max. I think they both just did such a freaking fantastic job as playing the characters. But anyways, I will get onto that later. So anyways, the fun is ruined by David, and he confronts Chloe, and Chloe is pissed that David's in her room, and then you know, David smells the pot, and Chloe immediately, like, blames Max, like you can in the game, if you decide to not hide in the closet. So of course Max, like the good friend she is, takes the blame, and David's like, if I catch you in my house, it will be the last time, and blah blah blah, all that stuff. And of course Chloe flips off David. It's freaking hilarious. I love it so much. And Chloe's like, thanks for taking the heat from me. And then she wants to take Max to, like, this spot, and they go to this, like, river, but, like, in the original scene, it's the lighthouse. But anyways, Max and Chloe are talking and all that stuff, and then basically Chloe's, like, hoping and wishing that they find Rachel, and Chloe does tell Max, like, how she's, like, involved with Nathan and all that stuff, like, how basically Nathan was at a bar and he was like flashing cash and all that stuff, so Chloe was like, oh, I can trick him into getting the money that she needs, and then blah blah blah. Basically, Nathan dosed Chloe's drink, and he was filming her while she was passed out, but Chloe woke up and she tried to kick him in the balls, broke a lamp, and then she bum rushed her way out and escaped. So that's why she needed the money from Nathan. So it was kind of like hush money, like, hey, just give me the $3,000, then, you know, all that stuff. And of course, Max isn't very happy to hear that. And then Chloe's like, I hope we find Rachel and all that stuff. And then Max passes out, and she has the vision of the tornado, and then she wakes up, and then she's telling Chloe, and she's like freaking out. She's like, holy shit, it's real, it's not a dream. And Chloe's like, you know, it's not an anime or a video game. You can't have time travel like powers, like you can't rewind time. That's not true. Like, how the heck could you have saved me and all that stuff? And then Max rewinds and says, Chloe, in like 5 seconds it's gonna start snowing, and then it snows, and then Chloe believes her. So then we cut to the next day, and we actually see Max visiting Kate, and Kate is very sad and all that stuff, and she's talking to Max, like saying, why didn't you help me out and all that stuff? And then Max is like, I wanted proof that David was harassing you, and if we go to the cops they won't believe us, we need to get more proof and all that stuff. And Kate tells Max that Nathan drugged her, and of course Max does believe Kate, but she's like, we can't go to the police yet, we need more proof that Nathan was the one who dosed you, because in the game Victoria and her other friends like recorded a video of Kate making out while she was drunk or something, and basically everyone makes fun of Kate, and that's why Kate's upset. And you know, she was drugged, and Nathan offered to help her, but of course Nathan was like filming her while she was passed out and all that stuff, and it's not a good thing what he did to her. And Kate's like, I'm pretty sure Nathan drugged me and all that stuff, like, we need to go to the police. But of course Max is like, no, we shouldn't just yet, we need more proof that we, you know, drugged you and all that stuff. And then Kate gets upset with Max, saying, why won't you help me out? Like, I know he drugged me, like, why don't we just go? Like, you're the hero, everyone should count on you and all that stuff. Like, she's really mad at Max in the movie, and I kind of understand. Like, she kind of like puts Max down, like, oh, don't worry, you're Max Caulfield, you'll know what to do, you'll save the day, like, you're the everyday hero. Like, she's really mad at Max. And Max leaves, and she feels pretty shitty after with her talk with Kay, and then she calls Chloe saying, can you come and get me, I'm feeling pretty down. And of course we get the iconic scene where Chloe takes Max to the junkyard, which is probably my favorite scene in the whole movie, if I'm not gonna lie, like in this live action movie, of course, not the video game, because I just really like the place where they filmed it. It's literally a junkyard. It's pretty cool that they were actually to film this in a real life junkyard, because I've seen other scenes where they tried to film it like in CMVs, and they don't always like film stuff like that in a junkyard. So I really like that they were actually to really film that place in the junkyard. So Chloe's like, welcome to American Rust, my home away from hell. And Max is like, when I said I wanted you to cheer me up, I didn't expect you to bring me here. And of course Chloe's like, it's fine, no one will get us, I brought my gun. And then Chloe's like, oh my god, you did steal that from David. And then Chloe's like, yeah, who cares? It's pretty funny. So anyways, Max and Chloe are talking, they're throwing rocks at a bus, and then Chloe shows Max that she also stole David's key, which is pretty funny because she doesn't do that until later in the game, but anyways, it's different. Then Max is like, holy shit, you stole his key too? And then Chloe's like, no, I forged it and then made one of my own. Yeah, Max, I stole it. Who do you think I am? I just love Chloe's sarcastic nature in this film. It's fucking great. And she's like, oh yeah, I'm sure David with the massive surveillance fetish won't notice that you stole his key. Your words, by the way. And Chloe's like, ooh, I'm so scared. What's he gonna do? And then Max says the word wowzer, and then Chloe's like, oh my god, you're so cute. And then like Max is like, okay, says the girl who still says the word hella. And then she's like, hella and wowzer are two totally different words. And then Max is like, I will hit you. And then Chloe's like, ooh, I'm so scared. And then, you know, Max playfully like punches Chloe, and I didn't even notice this the first time when I was watching it, but I just love it so much. I'm so glad they kept this in the film. Like, actually, literally a fly lands on Chloe's nose, which I don't think they planned on, but I'm so glad they kept it. A fly lands on Chloe's nose, and Max just starts laughing, and then Chloe's like, yeah, yuck it up. It took me a while to realize why the hell Max was just laughing randomly. I thought it was because she just hit her, but then I looked, I was like, oh, a freaking fly landed on her nose. That's funny, which I'm super happy they filmed and they actually kept that, because I don't think they originally planned it. So anyways, Max is starting to feel better, but then Chloe's like, we got more stuff I want to show you, and then we get the iconic scene with the train tracks, and they're walking across it holding hands, and then, they actually don't have to, like, they don't actually show the scene where Chloe gets her foot stuck in the train scene, which I kind of like, because it's, like, literally just warn Chloe that she's gonna get her foot stuck, but anyways, they don't show that, so they took it out, which is nice, and, they're walking, and then they're just sitting along the bank throwing rocks into water, and then Max is like, we should be getting back, I don't want to trip and fall, and then we have a school to break into later, and then Chloe's like, I like the way you think. And so they go back, and then they, surprise, they meet Frank, and he's smoking, and basically Frank confronts Chloe saying, where's my freaking money? And of course, Chloe's like, yeah, you'll get your money, Frank, and all that stuff, and Max kind of narrates of who Frank is and all that stuff, and then Chloe notices the bracelet on Frank's arm, which is the bracelet that Rachel owned, which before the storm you can choose the option to have Rachel give you the bracelet and all that stuff. So anyways, Chloe is not too happy that Frank has the bracelet, and she's like, you stole that shit, and then Frank is like, no, I didn't, and then she tries to get it from him, but then Frank takes the gun from Chloe, and Max, like, defends Chloe and pushes Frank out of the way, but in doing that, he accidentally shoots Chloe, and then Chloe is, like, bleeding out, and Max is, like, terrified, and Chloe falls, and she's spitting up blood, and Max is crying her eyes out, which, oh my god, I love the acting from Shelby when Max is crying in the scenes in this movie. I thought she did such a good job when she was doing the scenes where Max cries her eyes out, and she's just so sad. I thought she did such a good job with the scenes where she's just fucking bawling her eyes out. I was like, that's really good acting. Just something I wanted to point out, because I just thought it was really good on her end, so points to Shelby for really good acting for the sad scenes with Max crying and holding Chloe in some of the scenes. It's pretty fucking good, I'm not gonna lie. So anyways, Max rewinds, and her nose is bleeding, and then she warns Chloe, saying, don't piss off Frank, he accidentally shoots you and all that stuff, and then Chloe's like, how the heck did he get my bracelet? And then Max is like, just calm down and just don't piss him off, and then Chloe's like, okay. So anyways, they confront Frank, and I actually like this scene. It's actually pretty funny. Frank is like saying his like, like the Bonnie and Clyde and Thelma and Louise, and he's like, oh shit, what happened to you? Max is like, I fell on the rail and I tripped, and I think my nose is broken, so Chloe's gonna take me to the hospital. I just freaking love it. I don't know, I just kind of laughed at that. It's just the way that Max said it. She's like, I fell and I broke my nose. It was just like, I don't know, it was just the way she said it. I don't know why, it just made me laugh. So anyways, Frank is actually pretty sympathetic in this version. I mean, he is kind of like that in Before the Storm and in the first one, kind of, like, you don't piss off Frank. But I actually like that Frank is more reasonable in this version than he was in the video game. So anyways, Chloe confronts Frank about like why are you wearing Rachel's bracelet? It kind of clicks into Chloe that like, oh my god, Rachel was actually flirting behind my back with Frank, and Chloe surprisingly takes it very well versus like in the video game, like she just storms off. But I actually like that Chloe was pretty calm about it. Like you could tell she was like really pissed, but Chloe, being herself, kept it together and didn't freak out. And then Frank is like, yeah, sorry, we fooled around behind your back, but we're nothing anymore, and that Rachel did really want to leave with you, and we're nothing anymore. Like, he's actually really sorry. Like, you actually believe that he's really sorry for what he did. And then Max confronts Frank saying, like, hey, you said something about doing business with Nathan and all that stuff. Like, what kind of drugs were you selling him? Like, he's harassing one of my friends. And then Frank says, like, yeah, I was selling him some drugs, but please keep my name out of it. And then Max is like, yeah, we won't tell anyone as long as you stop harassing Chloe. And then Frank is like, fine, I won't, like, I'll stop harassing Chloe. And then he's like, yeah, screw it. I hope you guys just put Nathan in jail and consider the debt paid and all that stuff. But there's a cost. Like, of course, Frank won't do any more business with Chloe, so I'm like, that's fair. I really wish they did include that scene in the game. That would have been actually really good. So anyways, Frank walks off, and then Chloe's like, thank you, Max, for getting Frank off of my ass. And then it cuts to the next scene where they are in the school looking through the files, and they find stuff about Nathan, and it basically says that I think this is from David's end. Like, he wrote something about him saying, I think, like, Nathan has a very creepy obsession with Rachel and all that stuff, and then Chloe gets mad and kind of just storms off, and Max copy and pastes the information, but then she rewinds time, and then she tells Chloe, like, we don't need to go on the computer, I have all the information on my phone. And then Chloe's like, oh, great, what did you find? And then Max doesn't want to tell Chloe what she found about Rachel. And then she's like, I'll tell you later. And then Chloe's like, oh, okay, we can just review it at home. We'll have more time to inspect it and all that stuff. But then Chloe's like, before we go, I want to take you to this other spot I want to show you. And then Max is like, okay, sure. So then I honestly wish they added this in the game. It's such a cute, adorable scene. So basically, Chloe takes Max to a very special spot, and it's a tree with all these engraved carvings of people's initials, names. Like it's basically a place where you go to take your special someone to engrave your initials on it. Like it's permanent, like we're official type of thing. And it's such a cute scene. Like, I just love how Chloe just takes Max to the scene. Like, Chloe's like, I was supposed to take Rachel here, but, you know. Chloe's like, should we make it official? And then Max is like, what? And then Chloe puts her and Max's name in the tree. And it's just freaking adorable. And it's cute and it's wholesome. And then, of course, they kiss, which was so freaking adorable. I honestly wish they kind of did add this in the video game. That would have been so freaking adorable. Just saying. And, you know, but of course we get other kissing scenes with Max and Chloe, but I just thought it was really cute, and I actually like that they they actually put this in the film, which does come into scene later on, but I won't spoil it. So anyways, they kiss, and then Max and Chloe are walking, and then Max notices that Kate is up on the roof, and of course Max confronts Kate saying, what are you doing? And Kate's actually wearing this really pretty white dress, which I'm sure symbolizes like purity, which I could be wrong. I'm not sure what the white dress does symbolize in this, but I'm just gonna assume it represents purity because Kate is so innocent and all that stuff. So anyways, Max is confronting Kate, and Kate doesn't want to believe her, and she's like, my life is like a living nightmare. And of course, like in the video game, you can choose to you can save Kate or not, depending on the actions you choose, like, you know. So it cuts to the scene where you know, Max is trying to talk to Kate, and she's already made up her mind, and Max tries to rewind, but her powers aren't working, and just, you know, Kate jumps off. They don't show it, but you know, Kate jumps off, and then Max gets like super upset, and she just breaks down, like she's crying and she's pulling out her hair, calling herself a failure. And then we see Chloe in the background rushes to Max, and she just hugs her, saying like, it's not your fault, she already made up her mind before you even got there. Like, she's just comforting Max, which was sweet to see. Kind of wish they kind of added that in the game, because I mean, yeah, Chloe is upset about Kate's death, but she shows it through text message, so I kind of wish that Chloe was there to comfort Max in person after the events. Anyways, Max and Chloe are sitting on the these steps, and Chloe's just like, you know, it wasn't your fault, there's nothing you could have done, like she already made up her mind before you got to that roof. And Max just feels like shit, but then Max is like, Chloe, I gotta tell you what we found on that computer. And then they go to Nathan's room and are knocking on the door very angrily, and they basically just break into his room and just freaking confront him, and Chloe just wants to beat the shit out of him. She wants to, but then she's like, I can't do it, I'm gonna kill him if I even try. So then Max confronts Nathan, and then Nathan backs up, and he presses something on his computer, and it reveals the photos on his computer of all the girls that he's drugged and all that stuff, and it shows a picture of Rachel. And then Nathan's like, no, I didn't drug them, I swear I got them their consent. And then he just runs out of the door, and Chloe and Max are looking at the evidence of Rachel. And of course, this is the very sad ass scene from the video game. And like always, of course, they play the original song they play when you find Rachel, and it's the song Mountains. So of course the scene is still sad. So the scene where they find Rachel's body was just really freaking sad, and I just wanted to point out how happy I was that the acting in that scene was just very well done. And it wasn't like, I was very afraid, like the first time I watched it, I was afraid that the acting wasn't going to be as top-notch as the original one, like the voice acting in the first game, but thankfully they pulled it off, and I thought the scene was just played out so well. But honestly, the scene where they just find Rachel's body, Chloe just breaks down after she buries Rachel's body, and Max is horrified, and I just thought Mads just did such a fucking great job of just showing the emotion through Chloe, and how she just breaks down and she's hitting the ground and she's just upset, and Max is just comforting her. So I was very pleased of how that scene turned out. It was very well done, very well shot. The emotions were fucking on point, and it was just really fucking good. The only thing I kind of wish they would have added was just Chloe just screaming and crying out Rachel and just sobbing a little bit more. But over and all, the scene was very fucking well done. I really loved it, and I just loved the shot they show where, you know, they pan out and there's like sunlight, and it shows like a flower just blowing in the wind, and I just thought it was really good. So after that, they go to Chloe's house, and Chloe's just, you know, upset after finding her friend, And Chloe's like, why does everyone let me down? You bail on me for years, Rachel disappears, my fucking dad is dead. Like, tell me, Max, like, how is anything in life going to be good from here on out? And then, you know, Chloe gets upset, and Chloe says that everyone bails on me and everyone pretends to care, even you. And then Max gets offended, and then she's like, Chloe Price, you better take that back right now. So anyways, Chloe's just really pissed off at Max, and Chloe's like, I need to go and chill, I need to take a walk, I promise I won't do anything stupid. So anyway, Chloe leaves, and then Max is in Chloe's room, and she is looking at the Romeo and Juliet book, and she's scrolling through. She looks at the picture of Chloe with Rachel, and then she finds another photo in the book, and it's a picture of Chloe and Max when they were younger. And of course, Max goes back in time, and we see William again, and Max and Chloe when they were younger, and Max has like a nosebleed. And this part was very interesting for me, but I have to say it wasn't my most favorite scene in the movie. I kind of wish I mean, it was an okay scene, but it was kind of like, I feel like we could have done without this scene. It's just my opinion, at least. It kind of, I'll explain it later. Anyways, there's a scene, and basically future Max confronts younger self Max, which I kind of thought was interesting. And she's basically, you know, younger Max is trying to stop William from dying, but then Max confronts her younger self, saying there's nothing you can do to stop William from dying. He's gonna die no matter what you try to do. Then Max is like, no, I can save him. And then, you know, future Max is like, no, you can't. Like, I'm gonna tell you something, but, you know, I don't have much time left before I have to go back. And then we also cut to Chloe going to Nathan's dorm. Like, you can tell she's just about ready to freaking murder him. But unfortunately, when she arrives at his room, she opens the door, and we see that Nathan has sadly overdosed, and it shows like a pill of bottles in his hand, and he's got like a bunch of drool just coming from his face, and sadly he's overdosed. And Chloe's like, oh shit, like, what do I do? And then she finds this voice message on his phone, and we get a very sad voice message of Nathan's father just basically just putting Nathan down for having these like mental issues, like mental health issues, saying like, I don't care if you're going through this shit, like, you're my son, stop being such a wuss and all that stuff, like, who cares about your problems and all that stuff, like, nobody cares. And it's really hard and it's sad to hear, which I honestly wish they added that in the game. It would have made Nathan's backstory a lot more sadder, in my opinion. But anyways, Chloe's like listening to it, and she's just freaking sad hearing this from Nathan's phone, so she grabs a piece of paper and she writes a note saying, listen to this voice message, like, whoever finds the body. And Chloe leaves. So then we cut back to Max, and younger Max decides to let William go, like take the car keys, like letting his future play out. So we all know that William's gonna die. And Chloe's like, Max, why are you acting so weird? And Max, younger Max, I should say, she basically hugs Chloe and says, like, I'm sorry, but no matter what happens, I'll always be here for you. And then we cut back to Max, and she's got like a major nosebleed, and she wakes up, and then she hears like thunder, and then she's like, oh shit, I have to go find Chloe. And then we get the most sad ass scene from the video game, depending on what path you choose. I'm not gonna lie, this scene, it definitely got me, I'm not gonna lie. So anyways, we cut to the final scene, and it shows Chloe like kind of playing with her necklace, and then of course Max finds her, and Max is like, why didn't you come home, there's like a storm. And then Chloe's like saying like, so basically Chloe tells Max that Nathan is dead, and Max thinks that Chloe actually killed him. And then Chloe's like, I didn't kill him, I wanted to, but I didn't. And she tells Max that Nathan overdosed, and Max basically says her most iconic line, like, this is my storm, I caused this, like, I reverse time so much that nature is actually fixing my problem now. And then, you know, Max and Chloe are like talking to each other, saying like, you know, like, fuck all that, even if this is your fault, you're still Maxine Caulfield and you're amazing. It's basically all the sad shit. If you've played the game, you know basically what's happening. I'm not gonna fucking say everything they say, but it's fucking sad, of course. And I just really love this scene. It's very, it's sad. It's just fucking sad the way they acted it out. Again, props to Shelby and Mads for acting out this scene so fucking well. It's fucking depressing. And of course, Chloe's like, you know what, we have to save everyone. Like, maybe we are just fucking with time from me actually facing my real fate in life, like actually dying. Like, how many times have I died? I've been shot twice now and all that stuff. Then Max is like, fuck that, I'm not going to trade you. And then Chloe's like, you know what needs to happen. And of course she gives her the photo. And of course, the very beautiful scene where Max and Chloe kiss if you decide to sacrifice Chloe in the game. And yeah, basically Chloe's like, don't forget about me, Max. And then Max is like, I won't. And of course, the tornado, we actually see the tornado kill Chloe, and Max goes back in time into the bathroom. And I gotta say, I think this was maybe the most, just this scene alone, like, oh god. So basically, Max is in the bathroom, and she's just sad that she has to hear Chloe die, and she's in the stall and she's fucking crying. And it's just so fucking sad, this scene. Like, yeah, the original ending scene, if you let Chloe die, is sad too, but I feel like this one's actually a little bit more depressing, if I'm being honest. Just the way that Shelby acted it out is as Max being fucking sad. It's so sad. Like, I swear to God, I was like crying when I first watched this. So anyways, Max is like crying and she's covering her ears. And of course, Nathan shoots Chloe, and then Max is just fucking like loses herself and she's just crying. And Nathan just pushes Chloe's dead body out of the way and fucking runs out the door. And we actually see Max finding Chloe's dead body, like the aftermath, and she's just horrified, and she's covering her mouth, and it's so fucking sad the way they shot this. I really wish they added this in the game. It would have been so much more sad. Like, just my opinion, but anyways, we see poor Chloe's body just bleeding out, no one there to help her, and Max rushes to Chloe, and Chloe's like, Max, like, she's saying it in her last dying breath. And then basically Max returns the favor, saying, I loved you too. And then she's basically just holding Chloe in her arms as she dies, and she's fucking crying her eyes out. And I just really loved that scene. I just really thought the way they acted it out, it was so fucking good. Very well done. Acting was top notch. I just can't get enough of that scene. I really wish they fucking added that in the game. That would have been so much more sad. But again, that's just their version of the story, which I kind of like a little bit more than the original ending, not gonna lie. So then we cut to, it's like at the beginning of the story, we cut back to Max narrating, and she's basically telling herself, like, yep, that's basically what happened. Like, would you believe me if I told you this story? Which I believe the story that she was telling, she was preparing to tell herself. She wanted to tell the story for Kate, so I think she was just like preparing herself, like, for telling Kate. But then she's like, no, if you tell Kate that, she's going to think you're stupid or crazy. But then we hear Kate knocking on the door, and then Max is like packing her things up. And I actually like the scene. And again, I wish this was in the freaking video game, like the aftermath. So anyways, Max and Kate are packing, and Kate's like, I'm actually doing better. I'm going to therapy, and I'm actually improving, and, you know, the day gets the day gets better every day and all that stuff. And then Kate asks how Max is doing, and then Max is like, I'm not doing so great. And then Max is sad, and she sits on her couch, and then Kate goes to comfort her, and Max basically tells Kate how much she misses Chloe and all that stuff. And then Kate finds Max's bag that was underneath her couch, and Kate's like, I was wondering why you stopped wearing this. And then Max is like, oh, I stopped wearing it once Chloe died. And then Kate's like, I can put it back if you want. But then Max is like, no, I'm packing my stuff anyways. I might as well go through all my stuff and see what's in here. And then, of course, Max pulls out her photos. And Kate's like, those are really good. Like, I'm really lucky you were able to spend time with Chloe before, you know. Then, you know, Max is sad, and then she finds, she's looking at all the photos, and then she finds this one picture she took of Chloe when she was dancing on her bed, and she almost goes back in time. Like, we can see her focusing on the photo. Kate actually stops Max from doing it. Like, she grabs her hand, and Max snaps back into reality and just smiles at her, and then Kate goes back to packing Max's things in a box. But then as Max is looking through more of her photos, she sees a photo that Chloe actually took of Max, and there's a note on the back. And this scene was so adorable. I loved it so much. And again, I wish this was in the game. It's so cute. There's a little note on the back, and it basically shows, like, it's Chloe's version. Like, we see it from Chloe's perspective. Chloe was literally bored while Max was asleep, so she's like, I was bored, like, And then I decided to play with your camera, which was technically my father's camera, so I can technically play with it. But then I saw you sleeping, and you just looked hella picturesque, and I decided to capture the moment. And Chloe's like wearing this little hat. It's fucking funny. And she just takes a photo of Max. And then Max wakes up, so she's like, I'm sorry, how long were I asleep? Like, were you bored? And then Chloe's like, nope, I was, it's all good. I just love it how Chloe has that smile after she took a picture of Max, like, after she woke up. Like, you could tell Chloe was just happy she got that photo of Max. It was adorable. So then we cut back to Max, and she's finishing reading the rest of the notes, saying, like, Chloe will always love her and all that stuff, and Max is fucking sad, of course. Like, you can tell she's basically ready to cry, but then she pulls herself together. And then she's talking with Kate about, like, the party and all that stuff, like the one that Warren's hosting, and then we cut more into the future. And this scene was fucking sad, too. I'm not gonna lie. There were a few scenes in this movie that made me cry. We go back to the tree, which I said was gonna play an important part. So we cut to Max, and she goes back to that tree with all the initials on it. And we see her actually carving Chloe's name in it, and it says Chloe Price Forever. And then we see Max take out a hammer and a nail, and she puts it in the tree. And then we see Max take out Chloe's beanie and her necklace. And Max actually puts the necklace on the nail, so it just hangs there on the tree with her initials. And I was like, the first time I saw that, I was like, oh, the fucking feels. Like, oh my god, that's sad. Like, I wish they kind of included that in the game. It would have been so much more sad, honestly. And then we just cut to just a shot of Max just sitting near the lake with Chloe's beanie on her lap, and she's just fucking, like, touching it and, like, just fucking thinking of Chloe. And then the fucking film ends, and that's literally how the film ends. And I was just speechless towards the end. I was like, wow, like, holy shit, was that good. So overall, my thoughts about this is I really loved this fan-made project. I think they did such a great job with reenacting the scenes, and I like that they actually changed the dialogue a little bit here and then. I mean, it's pretty relevant to the original game. Like, they keep a lot of the original dialogue, but again, they change it up, which I really like. And there are actually some scenes I like a lot more that I wish they kind of added into the video game. Like, I like the scene with, just like the small things. Like, I just like the junkyard scene where Frank is just more nice to Max and Chloe, and he actually sides with Max and Chloe's, like, with Nathan and all that stuff. And he's like, you know what, I hope you find Rachel, and he just, you know, makes Chloe not be in debt anymore. And of course, the scene with the tree and the initials, I wish that was included in the game. That was really sweet. And of course, I love the scene where Chloe takes the picture of Max sleeping. That was adorable. And just, like, the scene with, just the ending scene with Max sitting at the river with Chloe's beanie, like, all she has left of her. That was sad. Like, just the small things like that. I wish they did include that in the game. Like, some things I did like a little bit more than they actually did in the original game. Like, I actually liked that Mr. Jefferson wasn't the main villain of the game, and that it was actually Nathan. I kind of like that a little bit more, I'm not gonna lie, because it makes Nathan's character more sad, and you just feel more bad for him once you hear the voicemail from Nathan's dad. It just kind of makes you feel more bad for him. Like, I don't know, I kind of just like that route a little bit more. I mean, yeah, Mr. Jefferson's an asshole, but I kind of like that it was more of Nathan as the main villain in this story. But, anyways. Some things I wish they did add from the game, though, that they didn't was, I do wish they added the two whale scene where Chloe and Joyce and Max are just all talking. I kind of wish they added that scene because Joyce isn't in this one. And, I definitely wish they added the scene with the pool scene after Max and Chloe break into the school. Max and Chloe are just chilling in the pool. I really wish they added that in, but again, I understand that they have to have, like, permission to film at all these places, so I understand that they can't film for everything and it's costly and all that stuff, but I do wish they did add that scene. That would have been nice too. And of course, the very famous Shaka Bra scene. I was very sad that they didn't add that in, but yeah, what can you do? That you can only add so much in. And the very I Dare You to Kiss Me scene, and sad that didn't end up in the movie, but I was still very happy to see that Max and Chloe did kiss a few times. But I think the kissing scene with the tree that makes up for the I dare you to kiss me scene. So at least we got that. That was super cute. I think that's basically everything I wish they kind of added into the film that they didn't add from the game, but that's pretty much it. So I really don't have much to really complain about. I mean, the scene with future Max talking to herself past was kind of cool, but I kind of didn't really care for that scene that much. I mean, yeah, it was sad, but it was okay, I guess. I mean, it's still good regardless. Everything about this fucking film is great, but that's the only scene I didn't really care about as much, was just, you know, future Max talking to her young self. I mean, that would have been cool if they added that in the game, but it was okay. Not giving this film any hate. I think it's fucking great. I'm just saying that, this is my opinion, I'm just saying that it's just a scene I didn't really care for as much as everything else. Everything else I thought was really good. And I actually like that they didn't make Warren as very not like creepy, but very as obsessed with Max and kind of just stalking her and being very like needy with Max almost all the freaking time, like texting her phone up, like blowing her phone up with text messages all the time. So I actually like that they only show Warren at the very beginning when he's just talking with Max very casually and he's not just obsessed with her, asking her about the drive-in and all that shit. So I actually like that they made Warren less, you know, needy and that all that stuff. Max is very great in the movie. I thought, again, Shelby did such a fucking amazing job with playing her, and again, the scenes where she's crying I thought were really well played, and Mads as Chloe, I think she did a really good job. It took me a while to get used to her more lower voice as Chloe, because Chloe has a very more high-pitched voice, but the more she talks, I was like, I really like this version of Chloe. I think she did a really good job of it, and yeah, this Chloe has some piercings and all that shit, but who really gives a shit? It's still Chloe. I mean, yes, they didn't get everything very correctly, like, of course, like, the shirts that they wear are very different from the game, but they still, like, try to make it look very similar to what they would have worn in the original game, so props to that, and all that stuff. But again, like, I kind of wish that they showed the scene with Nathan slamming the door and then we see that Max's camera is broken, because it kind of makes the scene where Chloe gives William's camera to Max more not like sympathetic, but it makes it more like cutesome, because it has more meaning to it, because, you know, Max can't fix her camera, so Chloe's like, you know, just take my camera, like, you know, my dad's camera. I kind of wish they went with that route, but again, everything else, I thought it was still good no matter what. And I just really liked this fan-made film. I think it's really good, and I feel like people should know about it more. And yeah, I know this definitely came out a few years ago, so yeah, I'm a little bit late of discovering it, but who really gives a shit? I just really wanted to talk about this on my channel and just give my thoughts about it and what I liked about it and what I didn't really like about it, which is not too much I really didn't like about it. But overall, I really enjoyed this, and I think I would give this fan-made film maybe an 8 out of 10, and yeah, I could just be really biased because Life is Strange is one of my favorite video games of all time, but I was just really impressed with how they filmed it and the music they played. I mean, it's not all the same from the original game, like they changed the songs here and there. But I just really liked it. I thought it was really well filmed, and the locations that they filmed at I thought were really cool. And they got everything pretty much accurate from the video game and all that stuff, and I really liked it. I thought it was really good. So if you haven't seen it, you can watch it on YouTube for free, which I really like. And yeah, go show your love and support to this amazing fan-made project, because Life is Strange is such an amazing game, and I just love seeing fan-made content from the fans and all that stuff. Like, anything Life is Strange that's made by fans, I just love it. I just eat that shit up like there's no tomorrow, and I really like this, and I really want to see more fan-made Life is Strange films. That would be so cool, because there's not too many that I can think of. Well, not that I've found yet, but I just really like this one. I thought it was really good. I thought it was really well made and recorded, and yeah, basically my thoughts overall, I thought it was a really good fan-made project. Super well filmed and well made, and the script and the acting was really good. So yeah, if you guys want to go watch this, please do. I will link it in the comments section. And please go show your love and support to this amazing video. Like, it's so amazing. I can't get over it. And I just really feel like I had to talk about this on my channel and my thoughts about it, because it's just really fucking well made, and I just feel like it deserves love and all that stuff. And of course, I'm a Life is Strange fan. Everyone knows it's one of my favorite games. So yeah, this is basically my thoughts on the Life is Strange fan-made film called What If. Super good. I recommend it. Anyone who is a fan of Life is Strange, go watch this. But of course, play the game first or watch the gameplay before you watch it so you don't get spoiled. But super well made. Really enjoyed it. I was very hooked on it, even though I knew what was going to happen. But of course, again, they did change some scenes here and there, so it wasn't all that predictable. But I was very pleased with how the product turned out, and I just really loved it. And it's something I just come back to and watch from time to time. If I'm feeling bored, I'll just play it and I'll just watch it, and it's really good. But yeah, really enjoyed it. Again, please go show the channel love and support, and let me know what you guys thought of it if you have seen it, or go watch it first and then come back here and then type in the comments what you thought about it, what did you like about it, what you didn't like about it. So yeah, that's gonna be it for today, you guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to like, comment, and to subscribe, and to share this video with a friend. Please share the original video too with a friend if they haven't seen it, or to anyone who's a big fan of Life is Strange. Please go watch that video. It's so freaking good. I just love it so much. So please show your support to the channel, and just, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. And until then, I will see you next time. Goodbye.